one of the driving forces for me starting this whole movement I'm doing is not only my feeling that I should share all the knowledge I've gained, but it's also an experience I had at a youth camp. So, this was a youth camp where we would be going into a park. No one was there, and we were just going to like a grassy field, and we basically just play games like football, water balloon, so on and so forth. And we had our shirts off because of the nature of this, right? And what I realized is that, wow, all these Christian kids over here have man boobs. If you did a count of how many of them had boobs, man boobs, it would be a very sad picture to paint. Okay? And I was looking at all this, and you could say I'm I'm being too observant, I'm being judgmental, so on and so forth. I don't really care. Okay, if you think that, oh, you're being judgmental, I don't know, go find a pride parade and participate in it, okay? But I was just doing these observations, kind of like, because I'm a very observant person, I'm like, these people, I wonder if they could go to bed at night just, thinking about how they look like this, just look in the mirror. And I was kind of relating it to myself because for a long time I was skinny fat. I wasn't in very good shape. And this was the time period where I just started getting out of that. And I was just looking at them, and I was like, these people need help. So, you can question how much of a spurg I am for doing this, but I went home, and I recorded a video. I recorded a video about... I recorded a video about why you have man boobs. Why do you have man boobs? Why you have man boobs? And it was actually it was a video going over, I went like, I went to a youth camp and I saw this and that. Because I'm a bit of a spurg for saying that, socially unaware. But I then talked about the solution. And the solutions were actually genuine. The solutions work. Because I also talked about how I used to be like that too. So, I didn't name any names. Alright? But I just made the video, and they kind of knew about my YouTube channel. They didn't really care that much, though. And I just lived my life through them. They were nice to me, and they're always nice to me, because I was always kind of like the G of the youth camp. They always respected me, when I was there at least. When I wasn't there, as far as I tell, like, they did say things, but some of them were, like, kind of jealous, so they would, like, do this, like, mocking thing of me, right? They would just go like this, and go like, right? But they didn't do that when I was around. That's all I know. But in any case, I remember my cousin's wife, who is a youth leader, was okay, to set the scene, I was at like a family meetup, and they are closely intertwined with the church, and they were kind of just talking about how, I'm a bit of an extremist. I am an extremist. Now, it's a bit of an exaggeration, but they were kind of just, trudging that line a little bit. And she talking about how, they were getting, they were starting to look up to me, and then they felt really hurt by the video I made. And I was just like, well, it was true. So I'm sorry they feel that way, but, I'm not sorry I made the video. And then, they're kind of like, just what? It's not a good thing. But I was like, I just really don't care. Because, how could you? But you could say I'm socially unaware for kind of saying it the way I did and whatnot. I didn't name them by name. I wasn't mean-spirited in the video. I might have chuckled once or twice, but, I think it was fine. I still do. And ultimately, this is an experience that largely shaped what I'm doing now because, like, in all honesty, when let's say I'm 19 now, so let's say 4 years ago. It's not even that long ago. Like 4 years ago, if there was someone like me telling me what I was telling them in that video, I would have been much better off. Okay, especially if I was even younger than that. I might have actually learned that porn was bad for me. I might have actually learned that, exercising is actually worth it. And exercising can be fun. Because I remember for so long, working out was just this thing where it was like, I get to do it once a week, and then it's like, well, I can do it 3 times, and then I just end up not doing it at all. I'm trying to do all the push-ups and sit-ups, and I was still looking fat, and I just didn't know what to do. And then now, I work out very consistently, and it's very easy to do. This doesn't take much effort. You just do it, right? I like doing it. All the other things I've learned, And, you know, I've made a lot of mistakes in my time of learning, and since this time period and before that time period, but ultimately, the big things I've learned is that there's something greater than yourself. And because of that, you need to pay respect to yourself with that in mind. God exists. God is real. If you're fat, that's an abomination to God. It's that simple. It's a value. You could say I'm saying it in a brash, and abrasive way. I don't really care. It's true. Say it in whatever nice buttercup, cupcake way you want to say it. But that's the way you need to start viewing your life.